What is going on, everyone? Israel back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Minnesota Twins because they're in a really interesting spot after last season, and I have no idea what their 2024 is going to look like. So as you guys know, the Twins finally won their division and got into the playoffs and actually won a playoff series versus the Toronto Blue Jays, which was very exciting because they haven't done that since 2002, which is pretty crazy to think about. They ended up losing to the Astros in the ALDS 3-1, which I thought they looked pretty good in that series, but we're not able to beat the Astros, so they go down 3-1. And going into this offseason, I kind of thought they were going to get some more players and get some, this team was going to improve. They're going to sign a ton of guys, right? But they really haven't done any of that, and their players are getting poached from all other teams. So if you look at the free agents that they had going into this offseason, Sonny Gray signed with St. Louis, so that's not ideal at all. And Kenta Maeda signed with Detroit, which is a division opponent, which is also not ideal. Tyler Mahle signed with the Texas Rangers, which is not ideal. Pagan signed with the Reds, and Floro signed with the Washington Nationals. The only players that will probably sign with their team is probably Joey Gallo and Michael Taylor, and maybe Donovan Solano will sign with their team. But besides for that, all their other free agents, I mean, I'd imagine they would re-sign, but who really knows at this point? Maybe Dallas Keuchel gets with another team. It's kind of interesting to kind of look at that right now. But really, all their best free agents have been getting poached from other teams, which is not really the best. They also haven't made any transactions either. Like, they haven't got anyone either. So they had a couple players poached, and they haven't got anyone either. So the Minnesota Twins, for me, are just not looking really solid this offseason. And it's pretty weird to see because you finally get in that playoff, you finally get back in the playoffs, you finally start winning it again. And then they just kind of don't really do anything in the offseason. And this isn't the first time. The trade deadline, they didn't really do anything either. So this is just like an organizational thing. They just don't really do much. Moments where they could be picking up good players and be actually improving their team, they just really don't choose to do it. And this is why I don't think they're going to win the division next year. I really don't have this team in there at all. I think they're going to be second or third in this division. And I really do think that the Royals or Detroit will be first or second in this division. I mean, kind of looking at it, Cleveland's just such a question mark to me in this division that I don't really know where they stand. Obviously, Chicago will be last. And then the other three teams will be up in the air, I think, in my opinion. So I just don't see this team really doing good. To be honest, I mean, they'll still have a good season, but I just don't think they're gonna have a lot of winning. Maybe 500 because they haven't picked anyone up. They've only gotten worse, so it's hard to tell like where they're gonna be. If you look at last year, they won 87 games, so I'd imagine that's gonna be around 81, 80 next season. With the losses they made, maybe even worse. Who knows if people get injured? Maybe if Byron Buxton can stay healthy for a season, maybe that helps them out a decent amount. But who really knows what's going to happen with this team? I mean, it is very interesting to think about their 2024 season. And they've only put about $90 million into the team right now. And if you add all the arbitration and all the other stuff, it should round out to $116.8 million. And that's right now. So definitely a lot more could be spent on this team, I think, if you're looking at it. And I do think they should sign a couple players because you just have to improve this squad. I mean, you just have to. After everyone's poaching your players, the other teams around you are getting better. So that should force you to get better. But it's just not in this situation for the Twins. And I don't really know where I see this team in 2024. For me, they gotta be around 500 because it's just such a question mark in the air. We do have a lot of outfielders on the free agent market right now, so it'd be interesting if they want to pick up one of those guys because this team needs to run 4 outfielders, like bare minimum, because Byron Buxton is way too injury prone. So for me, that's where they need to kind of be, I think. Maybe get a 4th outfielder or something like that. But it will be interesting to see where this team is in 2024. What do you guys think about the Minnesota Twins moving forward? For me, I just don't see a playoff shot with this current roster right now unless moves are made. So I think there must be moves made to get back in the playoffs, only because the teams around them are getting a lot better. So that's why I'm going to say that, because Detroit's been picking up good players. The Royals spent a ton of money this offseason, and the Guardians have made like a couple moves, not much though. So it's interesting to see. I think for me, there's just no way this team is going to win a division with this squad, or it's going to be very close to the end of the season. But for me, I think Detroit's the favorite right now. That team's been really solid. They almost were 500 last year. I could definitely see them having a good battle with the Twins if nothing is made with this team. And plus, if you're a Minnesota Twins fan, it's got to be weird that your team just isn't trying to win. At least for me, you finally get in the playoffs, you finally win a playoff series, and your team just doesn't want to win anymore. It's really weird if you ask me. So I feel bad for all the Minnesota Twins fans out there, because I personally don't have them in the playoffs, but we will see when the end of the offseason comes and we're back in spring training. That's my thoughts on the Twins. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think this is a playoff team? Where do you guys see this team standing right now? With their players getting poached, it's definitely kind of interesting, and they could spend a lot more money if they wanted to. But with all that being said, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know where you guys see the Twins in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.